Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Speak to My Heart. Empress, turn me up. Now, I should have put that on, but it's okay. You guys, it is a soulful Sunday. And you know what I like to tell everybody? Breathe, relax, and be grateful. Breathe, relax, and be grateful. Most importantly, get right here. Get in your spirit, get in your right mind, and get in your right self. Today, you guys, we have free will in the flesh from the TikTok family. Yeah. Hey, y'all
What's
be on
going
here
on,
doing
y'all?
TikTok. They be
How
talking
my
about
how
the
my people
TikTok.
doing out there?
How you doing, Free?
I'm doing
I'm
pretty
doing
good,
pretty
man.
good.
I
Just
about the
about the
highway, just
highway,
here
just
right
here
quick.
right quick.
Running a little
Running
late
a
for
little
you.
late for you. It's okay. It's okay. You know why? You know why? Cause this the area where you can be late. You know, everybody used to be upset. Oh, you late. I'm gonna have to start another time. Or we just ain't gonna have it. No, I will sit here and be patient. Patience is a fruit.
Back.
Ew, ew. With that, y'all, I have to introduce him because I did my homework. It's always a beautiful thing when you do your homework for the person, right? I'm super excited. So we going all the way down there to the sip, to the dirty, to the dirty, dirty. Y'all ain't ready with that. We going all the way to Winstonville, Mississippi. That's where Free's from, you guys. And he also went to a school. He went to Mound Bayou, Mississippi. This is an all-black historical town where slaves were fully self-governed and free. Free. Also, his core focus is human functional design, internal mind science, non-separation architecture. He is an independent strategist, researcher, and artist, operating entirely outside mainstream religious boundaries and spiritual control loops, serving as a living physical template for absolute human anatomy and uncompromised connection to the source. We're going to say this. So Sunday, your soul and the source are basically there together, but we ain't tapping in. You know? Everybody looking, and I'm gonna say that because I was looking outside of myself, Free. You know that? And when I stopped looking outside of myself, I honestly can say that I became happier. I might not have a whole bunch in the pocketbook. I might not live in the whole 3-story mini mansion that's my vision. I might not drive that Maserati. I'm just saying I got expensive taste. See what I'm saying? Right. But when I realized how expensive I am, I had to grow up. I had to grow up. One of those things with growing up is how did growing up in Winstonville, Mississippi, shape your understanding of freedom and self-governance? Because
Uh, what happened in that situation was basically everything was natural still. You know, it's just purchased land that was bought by maybe like slave owners who own land and purchased land, and it just was continued passed down from there, and it never went nowhere because we kept it within the community. You see, it was totally, and then it was all just purchased land, aside from Mount Bayou, which is purchased swamp land. So nobody knew where the land was at. So black people had just built their own land and community right here in this area. So if you was coming from the city or states from the outside of this area, you coming here was unheard of. So it's, so to speak, if you committed a crime back then and came here, you could disappear because nobody knew this place existed. So for me,
So for me,
growing up here, and it's like nothing but nothing. It's just stillness here. You see what I'm saying? It's just when you come outside, you got to be creative because we don't have nothing but land. If you could look at my background, you see that tree. Like
like
that's all out
that's
where
all
I'm
out
at.
where I'm at. I was not gonna ask, but I wanted to be like, do it again. Free,
Yeah,
they
you see
don't
what I'm
get
saying?
it. You see what I'm saying? They don't
So
get it. So they don't.
it's
I've
nothing.
had the experience to see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's nothing to
there's nothing
distract
to
me.
distract me.
You see what I'm saying? It ain't nothing I heard for me to focus to. Think about before iPhones came out. When we had the flip phones. So back then when I had a flip phone and I was living here, it ain't nothing I can even get on the phone and look at like I'm doing now. I can't even be distracted by the
Distracted
phone.
by the phone.
You see what I'm
You see
saying?
what I'm
There was
saying?
no
There was no
distractions here.
distractions here.
So I
So
couldn't be influenced or programmed by nothing that was going on in the world. Growing up, you think it sucked because it's like this all you know and it's boring and it's nothing here. When I left here for the first time, I was amazed. I didn't know the world existed out there. I, I've never seen a tall building before until I left here. I didn't know none of that existed for real. My awareness expanded just just by that little bit of knowledge, by not even knowing what was on the outside of my little town. You see what I'm saying? So I grew up without none of that. You see what I'm saying?
I'm
Until
saying until
technology started
technology
coming.
started.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
You know
I
what I'm saying?
remember
I
playing in
remember
the dirt,
playing in the dirt,
playing with sticks
playing
and
with sticks
mud,
and mud,
and then a
and then a
PlayStation
free.
showed
Don't
up.
forget. Well, I say I had a granddaddy. He took the tractor and went over on one side of the field that was we lived by and shaved it off so that we can have our own baseball field.
Right.
Right. But we still in dirt. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm
Oh,
glad you said
glad you
that.
said that. We still was in dirt. And then we didn't have after that red bat busted, we didn't have nothing but to go get a big stick and make it a bat. Right? And then when you lose the ball, now you gotta learn how to hit rocks,
Right.
but we still playing. You know, we
Right.
still playing basketball, or we still out here, playing
So,
football, doing whatever in the dirt.
right. So
Right.
you
So
notice
you
what it
notice
was
what it was
before you
before
called it,
you called
before
it.
you labeled it.
It's
It's
like
like
saying it's like
basketball,
basketball,
baseball
baseball,
still a
still
sport
a
without
sport without
even labeling
and
it
labeling it
baseball.
baseball.
Because for some
Because for
reason
some
we
reason
gonna
we
figure
gonna
out
figure
how to
out
hit the
how to
ball,
hit the ball,
shoot the ball
shoot
in
the
the
ball
goal.
in the goal.
It's normal
It's
human
normal
function.
human function. And
It's
it's
like if I
like
wanted
if I
to
wanted
ask
to ask
Kiana,
Kiana, stay
huh?
right there. Huh? Stay right there where you at, but just move your head over a little bit so that they can see right behind you.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. That's what to me looks like when you can see as far as you can see out there. Your thoughts are going to go. You gonna get into this imagination. You gonna get into having some type of intrinkling thoughts going on because you don't have no phone, or you have a phone and you don't have no service. But that right there leads to you being, it's green. I see the green colors. You see different shades of green, different shades of the gray and the white and the blue. You know, you can see
yeah,
a car just pass by. But am I allowing myself to just,
yeah.
yeah,
When you born
when
in
you born in
isolation,
isolation,
all you can
all you
do is
can do is
observe.
observe.
All you can do is look and
Look
think
and
and
think and
observe.
observe.
Why the damn
Why the
clouds
damn
look so
clouds look
close
so
to you?
close to you?
All you can do
All you
is
can do
pay
is
attention
pay
to.
attention to.
You know, and they say
And
you're a
they say
product
you're
of your
part of
environment.
your environment.
So
So
what what all this still that you think is what's developed inside of me. That's why
That's
people who
why
live out
people who
there in
live
the
out
city,
there in the city,
they are
they
what they
are what
are
they are
because
because
all that distraction going on. That's what's developed inside of them. I wouldn't know what it's like to just want a club every night. Nigga, look where I'm at. I mean,
I
you know
mean,
what I'm
it's,
saying?
you know
Like,
what I'm saying? Like,
I ain't gonna
I
have
ain't gonna have
the
the
motivation to want to
motivation to
do the
want to
things
do the thing.
people out there want to do.
You
My
know, and
where
that's
my
it.
friends
And
at?
that's and when we came up with, oh, I'm outside, you know, we got to get, come on now. We know, we understand that. But that's what, for me growing up and for free, that's what outside looked for like to us. When they like say, go outside. And when you
Yes.
get older, or when I say we got a little older, you know, we were moved to town. It ain't we moved to the city, we moved to town. And it is different. Free, I'm gonna just say the difference from my experience was more or less like I couldn't go outside and have peace like I wanted to. I can't just go, you know what I'm saying? Like I can go out, you can go outside right there and go anywhere you want to out there and go sit and be in your own peaceful space. But when you live in a city, you have to go far to go find that. Or you got to go in an isolated area, right?
Right.
But you still ain't getting that rooted, deeply grounded like you need to. That's for me the difference because out there in the country and in the city, woo, 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 free. It's a woo with that because it's different. It ain't even about just touching the trees and you and got taking your shoes off. You could just go outside and like Free say, I heard you say one day, I just go outside, right? And now I see why you just go outside because it's all right there. It's you embracing all of what you can see and maybe feel and bring into your existence.
Yeah.
When did you first begin questioning the systems and identities society assigns to individuals? Labels.
Because
Because
when you
when you
when you
when you
live
live
under this,
under this,
that means
that
you
means you
also
also
detached. You out of
detached, you
magnet,
out of
no
magnet,
label.
no label.
So you see what I'm
You
saying?
see what I'm saying? So
It, for me,
for me,
it's easier
it's
to
easier
see
to
when
see
something ain't
when
adding
something ain't
up or when
adding
it
up
don't
or
make
when it
sense.
don't make sense. Mm-hmm.
And so
And
and
so
it's like
and it's like
I'm able to
I'm
see
able
when
to see
people
when
are making
people are
choices
making
that
choices that
they don't even
they
know they
don't
make.
even know they make.
But later
But
on
later
realize,
on realize,
and
you know,
phrases
and
like I
phrases
knew I
like I
should.
knew I should.
And why you
And
make the choice? People couldn't answer the question because they technically don't know because that's NPC movement. If you did something you knew you shouldn't have did it, but you did it, you're not aligned with yourself. If you're not even listening to yourself. You get to running out. I knew I should have did that. I knew something was gonna happen. Then why you didn't act on it? Because when your inner self connecting with you, you ain't even listening. You see what I'm saying? It shows how much humans are unaligned or misaligned with themselves by making choices that they knew they shouldn't have made, and then had the nerve to turn around and say, I knew I shouldn't have did it."
What
But
you
you
just
can't.
said. What I said what
So
you just said right
yeah.
there.
So
Yeah, so
when I see
when I
stuff
see
like that,
stuff like that,
that's how I know that that's the system fucking with shit. Because we already not. That's what it's doing, keeping us from realizing we making choices like that, and we don't
we
realize
don't realize
that.
that we made it.
But we
But
turn around and ask them. I question stuff like that. I could be with a group of people and we go out and then they end up talking about, man, I feel like something wrong, man. And then saying as soon as something go off, they say I knew something was wrong. You see what I'm saying? I question that. I question that.
I hear that because now it's that goes to if you knew or felt. I like to say both because sometimes some people can feel something like a ooh, and you don't know what that is, and you don't
Exactly.
question right, and you not questioning what you felt that could be, as I call it, the ooh, ew, like an eerie feeling. That's just my
Yeah.
way of saying it. And you don't say anything to me. You don't have to say it out loud, but you can pull me to the side or pull somebody else and be like, hey, I ain't feeling something ain't right. I just felt a tug somewhere. Like I'm looking at your gift that you have that you be saying something at another time when you ain't trying to be somewhere, but then when we somewhere over here and I just be looking at that as you sabotaging me now. Why are you making me feel like you trying to set me up? Like I don't like stuff like that now. Like if
Yeah.
I don't like to feel like I have to question what you said to yourself and you ignored what yourself was saying. Like Adonna said, that's self-disrespect when you didn't listen. And now we both in the nut over here tied up in something.
But let me let
Let
me
me let
let me put,
me let
let
me
me add
let me
the
add the
defense on the
defense
same
on the same
situation,
situation
because
because it's
it's
still
something
it's
else
some
that happens in that situation to where normal people or even people in the spiritual community still asleep to it, because the, people can't tell the difference between that and when it's just fear. You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes it could be just fear. So people need to understand. That's why when they say they can't hear the voice of God, or they can't hear the voice of, they don't know which one is which. They don't know it. That's kind of why they can't tell, because when they say the battle is not flesh and blood, it's with principalities. So you have to learn the difference between fear and when it's an actual, you being urged by the spirit for real. Because if it's just fear, then you gotta be able to do the internal work with what I call internal mind science to figure out, um is this valid? You see what I'm saying? You don't wanna make a choice based off reaction, because you thought it was a nudge, but it was just fear keeping you from just doing something you just simply wanted to do. See what I'm saying? You could just simply want to go out that night, and fear can make you feel like you shouldn't do it. See what I'm saying? And then that's when you hear, "Well, you should have came out. We had a ball." You find out you missed everything because fear kept you back. But when people don't know the difference, they making NPC choices because they can't do the internal work to find out which is which. Is it fear, or is it, am I really being nudged by the higher
by
self?
the high self. So let me ask you something, free, because you know I got tons of questions for you today. How can individuals recognize when they are operating from programming rather than authentic awareness?
I
Uh,
I'm gonna give you
I'm
my real life example. My gas tank on low. I don't eat, right? Uh, I need some money to put something in it, but I don't feel like going nowhere, right? Somebody hit me up, offer $20 for the ride to the store. I turned it down because I don't feel like going. So a person who gonna just react, gonna go for the money because they want the money to fill up their tank, knowing that they don't feel like going. So me, as in free will in the flesh, would not make a move just because the money came and I knew I needed to put it in the tank. But if I don't feel like going, I'm still not gonna go because the money wouldn't move me. So I'm able to turn down the money even though I know I need it. Because I don't care about the fact that I know I need the gas in my tank. I care about me. I care about the fact I don't want to move. So I'm not letting nothing influence me to do something I don't want to do if I don't really want to do it. See what I'm saying? When I get ready to feel like moving, and then they hit me up and need that ride, then I'll take it. You see what I'm saying? Most people that catch
People
me,
that catch me,
I happen to
I
be
happen
out
to be
already.
out already.
But
But
if I just get to the crib, finna go in the crib and chill, and they hit me up, and even if it's about some money, I'm still gonna turn it down. Cause shit, I'm done for the day. I ain't finna move nowhere. I don't care about the money. See what I'm saying? It's meaning for me. Nothing else will influence me. That's why if I do something for you, just know it's because I made the choice to actually do it. You can hit me up tomorrow and want to pay me double. If I don't want to do it, I ain't gonna do it. People don't move that way because depending on how much money it is, they definitely gonna do it. An average person who needed the gas money would have definitely took that $20. You see what I'm saying? A person
a
can't look
person
at
can't
me and
look
tell
at
me
me and
they
tell me
wouldn't.
they would. That part, that part, that part right there. That part right there. I like what you and I like how you showed your own accountability, right? You're seeing yourself. Is this really me? Is this what I've become? Or is there a greater, deeper, wiser version of myself? You know what I'm saying? Like not outweighing odds, but really outweighing self.
Yeah,
Is this an authenticness of myself, or is this a behavior?
right. See what I'm
Right.
saying?
See what I'm saying?
What if
What
everybody
if
keep
everybody
coming?
keep coming?
What if you tired, right? And everybody keep calling with money plays, 20, 40, 60. So I'm saying you're gonna be out there running, ripping, and collecting that money. Tired of mud. Never getting your rest. You running NPC mode because you're being controlled by all that money and all whatever they want. You see what I'm saying? They bribing you, paying you to get you to do it. You see what I'm saying? I would definitely turn all that down. I'm tired. You see what I'm saying? I ain't moving because I don't want it. Now I might take a nap and try to wake up and hope one of them hit me up because I'm feeling energized. I'm finna move. I might hope one of y'all should come around when I'm ready. But don't think I'm finna move when I ain't ready because I ain't going nowhere. Most people gonna make that money. I know because that's the street mentality anyway. They making money living on slave mentality because they think they gotta live to pay bills or they gotta live to get this money to survive. When we came in this motherfucker living and surviving with no money. So ain't no way they gonna have me thinking I needed to live. I just might not have shit. That's the difference. People not willing to go without because they're attached to everything.
Attachment to everything. Mm, mm. Even yourself, we are attached to things, people, and places without knowing. And it does play a part on our mental because when you have to detach, that's where you see where you are attached to things or attached to certain stigmas and stereotypes and behaviors that you just happen to grow like that. Okay? Grow like that. It's okay. But it's not okay to stay stuck. No, it is. Free, it's okay because you recognize, you know what I'm saying? Self-realization is when I realize this is really me. It's okay. But it's not okay to stay stuck. It's not okay to stay right there because it does pull you away from your authentic being, your authentic self, the authentication of you and your gift and your talent in your everyday breathing livinghood. What happens when people stop seeking external authority and begin trusting direct connection source?
That's a
This question,
the
the
response gonna have to
response
go
gonna have to
for
go for
audience
audience.
and for the spiritual leaders out there because it's part of the problem is in in this inside the spiritual community when it behind that type of question, because they're the ones who are teaching external or within. See what I'm saying? And and it's, and I got to say this, and it don't make sense to believe within without believing in external. At one point, you didn't exist. So even if I'm God, before I became a man on this world, I was invisible or omnipresent or outside of time. See what I'm saying? So I had to exist outside to create the world, and then come and then become God on this earth. So there had to be an external existence for creation to even be here. You see, we all got proof we came in this world as a baby. So that proves that you wasn't here at first. Fleshly. You see what I'm saying? Even if you have always been here in a spiritual sense, in a spiritual being sense, that itself proves, you see what I'm saying, that you was here, omnipresent, invisible, outside of a human body. So believing in that existence of external isn't necessarily wrong. You see, it's just how you it's just how you got it's just the way people looking at it. It's wrong. The perception of it is wrong. You just have to know if the world was created, that's an external creation. Even if we look at ourselves as gods and goddesses, we have to know that we had to be outside of this world to create this world. See what I'm saying? This go for every framework, no matter how you see it. You see what I'm saying? Whether you see it with all women, whether you see it with Adam and Eve, whether you see it to create this world, whoever was the creator, you had to exist outside. Unless they trying to say it was a man standing outside of everything, creating everything. We all used to be external. You see what I'm saying? Becoming flesh, it was the magic of it all. It was about being visible for the first time.
What you said, I love that you used the invisible, because that goes, okay, you have to get it. Don't forget it's Soul Sunday. I am, I am, I am, oh, you giving it away. See, you over here in alignment with that. I'm answering somebody in the comments, free for women's mental health. I'm starting next week if a person wanted to reach out to me, so that way we can start for July and or August, just get like have the month in the middle to get that together, and we come back in August and have a women's mental health. It will be still Flick the Switch, because that was March when I started that. Okay, so if we want to help me get that together, because I do want to have opportunity to share myself too, along with us collectively sharing together. Thank you. Now we're free. I always say thank you to the brothers, right? Very much gratitude, because of the fact that we don't have brothers. Well, I grew up with 5 boys out there in the country. Okay. So my knowledge, my understanding of stuff is different. And it's different because I had to get out of the pretty girl rock, pretty girl rock. When you go from the city girl to the country, that stuff got to change. You know, so it was like taking, like how in the Barbie world, yeah. So in the Barbie world, where Barbie went from Barbie world to human world, the one thing she wanted to do the most was what? If y'all watched it, take off her shoes. She wanted to ground. You know, she like, oh, this what it feels like. My
Right.
next question goes in, why is silence such an important component of self-discovery? I'm just going, this is to the audience while he's going to answer his question. Have you felt silence before? But why is silence such an important component in self-discovery? People scared of the dark, the word isolation, the word go sit down. First of all, even in the Bible, it say be still and be quiet and know I am the Lord God. You're talking to yourself. Go ahead, Free.
All right. It's very important to be still. You ain't necessarily gonna be able to notice anything or see anything if you're not still and listening. Because, like I'm saying, the battle is not physical. You see, so you got to be able to see beyond that. For example, when somebody tell you, give me an apology, or we can't be friends. On the surface level, it's just like, what? But when you can't see beyond that, you can't see how the ego is holding this person hostage, saying, choose, it demanding apology over friendship. And when you demand apology over friendship, friendship ain't worth it because you don't demand or force an apology. Everything must be freely chosen. But most people can't see when things like that is happening. That's why arguments happen, because that's the battle that's usually going on. The person is usually being held hostage by the ego, but nobody never knows that because it's always something unseen that's going on that people normally can't see. Now, now,
Now,
now,
now, that's
so
what's
so
wrong right
so
there. Ooh, Free. Ooh, right there. Ooh. How you getting mad about what you can't see, but I can see? She said silence is golden. Golden. When you find some gold, like something gold, first of all, when you get something that's golden, you ain't trying to give it away. You ain't trying to sit up here and just, loose, and loose booty type thing going on. I keep it real over here. You gonna sit there and act like you went to grandmama's house with something. Hey, grandmama, let me holler at you real quick. I need to put this up. You know what grandmama gonna do? She gonna even put it up from you. But you won't go sit down where she put it up at, which is in you. In you. In you. What are the biggest performance scripts society programs into people today?
ooh, say that one
Ooh,
more.
say that
Say
one
that one
more.
more time.
Free, don't be making me laugh. What are the biggest performance scripts society programs into people today?
I ready for this?
Let me sip my
Shit.
coffee.
All of them. Everything. A doctor, mother, father, daddy, lawyer, teacher, uh, anything. But it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's only a bad thing when you're not aligned with the role you pick, which means the role of a police officer. You see how normally they treat people and the things that they go through, right? But when they get home, they're a normal person. Why is that? Because when he put on the badge and hop in his suit and become the officer, he a whole another person. That's not alignment because it goes against self. You know what I'm saying? If I get pulled over and I tell and you see that I'm going through it, I ain't got no money, I'm trying to do this and that, I ain't got no insurance, I ain't got no job, and he still give me a ticket, because of the law. See what I'm saying? The law or the policy, they choose that over being the man that he is when he just at home. So it's really not so much of that the role is the problem. It's just once one is chosen, they lose human morality being that role. So you forget who you are. You become the officer. Like you ain't got kids at home, but you slanging them and doing all this to the rest of them out here in the street. You see what I'm saying? It ain't alignment if you ain't doing your kids at home like that. Because you could be aligned good and bad. So if he really was a bad cop would be handling them rough out there and then go home and arrest his kids the same goddamn way. Be at home treating them the same way, like a military man. When they get programmed a certain way, they come home like that. That's program on top of
Program on top
program.
of program.
They
Right. They
programmed by the
programmed by the
society itself,
society
then
itself,
go to the
then go to the
military and
military
be
and
double
be
programmed.
double programmed.
Then they come
Then
home
they come home
aggressively.
aggressively.
Every time your
Every
child
time
get
your
bad,
child
you
get
make
bad,
him
you make
hold
him
boots on his
hold
head,
boots on his head,
squatting and shit.
squatting
You
and
know what I'm
shit.
saying?
You know
Stuff
what I'm
like
saying?
that.
Stuff like that.
All that type of
All that type
programs
of
keep you
programs
from
keep you
being who you
being
are.
who you are.
To know who
To
you are,
know
you
who
got
you
to
are,
take
you
away
got
the
to take away
program.
the program. That means you gonna have to go do. Hold on, I'm trying to see I had another device real quick here. I didn't. So this is what you got to do. In your device is this thing called restart. The moment that you hit it, the moment that you hit the device where it says restart device, it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to do this? Yes. Then it's going to tell you, it's going to delete photos and all this stuff that's in the phone, the way the program of the device is. Would you like to continue? Yes. Then it's going to tell you that the device is going to cut off, and when it powers back up, it will be to its manufactured state. Virtue is a state of being. Kindness is a state of being. Gentleness is a state of being. Patience is a state of being. Integrity is a state of being. Anything that deals with your state of being is who you are. You ain't the program, though. That ain't who you are. It is just what it says. Program. So if I delete, now I'm sitting up there, not a compartment full of somebody else's data, which is information of how I'm supposed to operate. So you do have to go into a be quiet and be still so that one can see their self. She said, we just talking about we can reset. Baby, reset. I'm just going to go on and say set because I never was reading nothing. I'm going to take off the read because that means repeatedness of something, right? So if I take that off and just say set, now I'm set it off up in here because of the fact that I removed the word that dealt with your adjective and I removed what was added so I can see that I was already set within myself. I was set within my soul. I was set with the source, but I had to go learn how to sit down, like grandmama say, and be quiet and be humble, like Kendrick Lamar said. And I had to put that together so that I can see who I am. What did it say? Be quiet, be still, and be quiet. So that you can know that I am. If you say the word, anytime you say I am, you're talking to your soul. I was talking to me the whole time, free. Hey, sit down. Be quiet. Be quiet. Be still so that you can know that I am great. I am this. I am that. But the moment it goes to what y'all was saying, the moment that I deleted and let go of everything, of everybody else, I started feeling my existence. What's the difference between existence and I'm just here living? Having a ride.
It's
it's
a small
it's a small
percentage of it
percentage of
where
it where
they both the
they both
same.
the same.
But one is a conscious version and one is a unconscious version, though. So you ain't living when you go to work every day because you gotta pay bills instead of going to work every day because you got something you want to pay or you got something you want to pay for and you just need the money to pay for it. Like so I don't live in mental slavery thinking, oh shit, I gotta pay these bills so I can live. Then now you stuck working, thinking you just need to live. Instead of just whatever I wanna do in this life, I want a car. So shit, I'm just gonna get a job, run up these little check stubs, go to the car lot and get a car. And I'ma just pay the note because that's just how much it gonna cost to keep the mud. But I'm not gonna stress every day because I gotta wake up and pay for the pay the bill. That's like crazy. You just know what it takes to manifest what you want, so you do that. You don't stress because you gotta do that to manifest what you want. People when they
People
doing
when they
that,
doing that,
they not
they not
manifesting
manifesting
nothing in
nothing
reality.
in
They just
reality.
working.
They just working. I was
See what I'm
gonna
saying?
add to that what you
They must
said.
ain't
They
got
must
no
ain't got
plans
no
or no
plan or no
goals
goal
that they trying to
that they
work
trying to
towards.
work
They
towards.
just going to
They
work
just
it.
going to work it. I was gonna add to that when you said that car note. Thought says, if you over there saying that you the boss, you the CEO, you the owner, operator, and all that good stuff that you say about you, right? So how is it that you only see that angle only one way? If you know I got the money to go buy the car, go buy the car. It's just a car. It's a vehicle, just like the body, to get you somewhere. But when you attach yourself to, okay, I like nice things. I did say that Maserati out there, right? And I'm talking about whatever year it is, that's the year I want the car. But that's what I like. Doesn't mean that that's something that I need. So I got to learn how to separate my want, that desire, that want, that need. I got to see what's priority in my life. I'd rather be able to go to a park where it ain't so hot right now and go put my feet where I can got the grass and I got the water a little bit, where I can just go and I can just lay out and now that right there, that's luxury. That's priceless. Because now my taste buds has changed for myself more. And when you sit down and be still, that's why I keep saying to be still and to be quiet. When you actually be still and be quiet with self, you get into human functional design. Oh yeah, I'm just dropping my mic. I ain't teaching that. I did my homework. I want you to express that. I'm not giving them my homework that I went and looked up for the human functional design. Do you think that you functionally operating in the design of yourself? It's like, have you even sat down with the architect of you? This is how I am. You know how we females do. This is how I am. Do what? Change, baby. I like how I am. Men do it too. You trying to change me. Huh? Right. I might can see your design. And we're going to say this. Over here, age does not matter. Information, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, always standing up so that we can collectively do this. I got to be able to receive it and breathe it. I told y'all this is Song Sunday. I got to be able to, can I reel that in when I'm over here being key? You being a little messy. Am I? Because I might not know. No, I'm serious. That goes with human functional design. The difference between traditional self-help or spiritual guidance. What that look like, Free, when you have to teach me how to be in my existence and my omnipotent, omnipresence, all-knowing, all-seeing, all everything And I don't know what that looked like because I ain't never experienced me.
All right.
All
So
right. So
most people think their identity is built out of labels, the career, their bank, the, the bank account, relationships, you know, uh, or tragedies or trauma or stuff like that. But those are just, uh, I want to say, like tools that you're able to like operate in while we're here. See what I'm saying? But what you would do is, who is Kiana if I take away the name of Kiana, career, uh, your role as a mother, your role as a grandma, and every role that you have built in this so far. If I take away all that, you just exist. See what I'm saying? So after that, you have to pay attention to you as you exist. When you in that state, you gotta pay attention to in real life you could really pay attention to what you operate for. Like for example, when you show up in a group of people and for some reason you the one coming handy, that's because part of your existence or your purpose is to be that type of person. See what I'm saying? The awareness is realizing what about you makes you come in handy all the damn time. See what I'm saying? Why people, that's because whatever that is what you're figuring out. And that's what attracts people to call you up, to make you come around. Because, yeah, Kiana handy all the time. See what I'm saying? For example, let's say you got everything stripped away, right? But for some reason, you go around noticing people need help doing things. Like, um, you see people have a hard time reaching the bell, trying to ring the bell. So every day you notice he jumping up, ringing the bell. So you got no name, no nothing. So you just walking around observing that. And one day you bring him a string so he can figure out how to tie it to the bell so he can just pull the string and ring it. That would be your human function because you naturally walk around building things to help people. You see, if you walk around observing and you see this man on his tiptoes putting a light bulb in every day, so you go home, natural function, no name, no nothing, and you just building something to figure out how to help him stand up on something to reach what he's trying to reach every day. So you walk around doing it with no name, no function, no nothing. Then people ask you, who are you? Without giving them a name, you don't say nothing. You just be that. So that is who you are. There is no
there's
name
no name
to who
to
a
who
person
a
is.
person
A
is.
name is
A
just
name
to
is
try to align or identify what you are. Like an apple. An apple is what it is without you calling it an apple. But we got to name it to identify what it is. It's the same way for a person. So if you that type of person, we might just name you a helper, inventor, a builder. You see? But that's because that's your function. And everybody got those functions because we can look at history. It's a lot of people who have the same function. You see, they have the same essence. That's we the same because I invented this, you invented that. I invented the rocket chair, you invented the light bulb. You see what I'm saying? But it's all because they was observing things and noticed something that needed to be done, and they did it. And the name of it and the label came later. I'm gonna build this
I'm gonna
car.
build this car.
We're gonna put
We're
four
gonna
wheels
put
on
four
it,
wheels on it.
and
So that's why when
it's
I
gonna
said
roll
it's gonna
down the
roll
street.
down the street. When I said free, I'm gonna tell you how this was created, and you just looked at me. Ain't said a word because I was operating and still operating in just my existence. I don't question nothing. I might look at it like, huh, okay, I'm gonna still be okay to what I see. what I know, what I feel within. I'll see it say, do this. Okay, da 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 da. And then somebody else, you're looking at me like, what is wrong with her? Why is she doing it? She set up, she got this going on or that. But I'm loving it because I didn't operate from your program. I operated from source, soul within me. Hello? Yeah. Yeah. You got it. Like, that's why I like when you said, hey, what does that look like? What does that feel like? And it's not what you really think. It is what I call it, celebrate you in that time. When you start just doing like you're talking about, when your human self is functioning in the design, just get happy. Get happy because it's you.
The tricky part, the
the
amazing
part about it,
every
every
human
human
simultaneously acting in their function. They just not aware of it, and they just have to realize what it is that they doing. See what I'm saying? You know, sometimes when people just like you and you don't know why, it's connected to your function of who you just naturally are. But
but
most humans
most
go
humans go
live without
live
actually
without.
reflecting on it.
So I wrote a note for that. I wrote a note for human functional design, which is to nutshell it, because you got to go do your own homework of self. What was already present before that teaching occurred? Nutshell? In a nutshell, free? Simplicity of it. It was simplicity. Y'all said simplicity of the understanding of it a little bit is just what was already present before that teaching occurred. So you do have to sit down with yourself to tap into the real understanding it is. So ask yourself, well, what was present then? It's just that simple. But you got to be still. You got to be willing, and you gonna have to be present for what's about to occur within you.
Now look,
And
boy, when you do that, make sure you got make sure you actually yourself. It's so deep that you got to realize that at first you wasn't present because you know you came here as a baby. Everybody did. So you gotta think about what's before that. And that's where the error come in with the spiritual community when they kind of pushing not to believe in the external source, because that when you know that the existence before you got here, you have to believe in the external version, because that it's like telling me if I am the external source and then I became flesh, then you can't tell me that I don't exist or I don't exist externally. You have to believe that it exists external because it's the same thing that's inside you. You see what I'm saying? But you gotta understand that nobody created the world. It was already present when we got here. So that's the external source that I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? That creator exists because this world was present when we got here. And now I'm here left to put meaning to it. The trees was here already, but it wasn't no tree. But it was left to us as co-creation with the source to put a meaning and name to it. Say, hey, we're gonna call this tree. Other than that, the source could have named it. We're still doing that job to this day, labeling and naming. The problem is we becoming our own. We becoming what we create. We are
we
add meaning
add
to it.
meaning to. So as I heard nature right there, right? My question is, what does true human sovereignty look like to to you from the words of Mr. Free Will, true sovereignty?
True sovereignty.
True sovereignty.
You ask me, that's what everybody looking for. But if you ask me, it starts with peace within. You got to have peace within. Ain't no sovereignty happening when everybody is still mentally slave and enslaved. You got to have peace within, meaning when you got peace within, that's why you not up rushing to do things every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, when your parent, when your child sitting up in the house, ain't working, ain't doing shit, and you feel like he wasting his life, that's when the problems start. Because you're making people think that they wasting their life sitting up not doing it. But as humans and beings on this planet, that's what we're here to do. Whatever we want to do, we supposed. And if it's nothing, that's what this is. Sitting out here doing nothing. But you forcing people to go out there into the workforce and do something with your life. See what I'm saying? When you're supposed to be just being creative, you know. It's like they paint a picture of a person just sitting up not doing nothing. But then looking for true sovereignty later on in life. And you had it when you was sitting up not doing nothing. You see? So
Yeah, part.
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's
It's
those the
those
spiritual
the
loops that
spiritual
I'm
loops
trying to
that I'm trying to
break
break.
the people from. Even the spiritual community. They in the same loops. And I gotta say this right here because this goes directly to them, to the spiritual leaders, because they in contradiction with me because they preaching oneness, but I keep everything is becoming melanated, and it's not alignment right now because the world is not just melanated no more. So we can't want oneness unless we talking with just our people. See what I'm saying? But oneness, true oneness, involve all people. So we can't leave none of them out. If we do, then it's something inside of us that still need worked on that we afraid to admit. And we still holding on to a lot of that bullshit now. I'm telling you,
I'm telling you, we
look, and
yeah, we
they
is look.
instead
That's
they
where
afraid
it
to
goes
admit
to
that.
being honest. I was just saying that's where it goes to the look, identity and honesty, they go together because the word called
Yeah,
integrity integrity goes with identity. Identity, integrity. They go together. You know why? Because it's in your honesty. Honesty is a behavior. Is you really honest with self? I did it. I said it. I acted like that. Thank you for pointing that out. That's some work I need to go do. But because you still separated within, separation is a state of being and behavior. It go hand in hand because if you're separated within, from everything, self, anything that deals with source, it don't matter. Anything that's going to deal with your higher self, if you deny any of it, you're denying yourself, which is you're going to automatically be a separated being with separation behavior.
right,
So how are we going to be one? One does not seek to separate all when we understand that all is one.
right.
One. How does your music function as an operational manual for the era that we're in right now?
Because
Because
it's
it's
putting
it,
what people may call the unseen, the unknown, or things of that nature into words, but into music also. So it's already tough enough to put into words, but putting it into music is just because first of all, that's how the world hears. today through music. So so the only way that they really gonna listen is if it's coming through that type of frequency, because it's the frequency of the planet right now. When it comes to catching somebody's ear or listening, so I'm saying music works like an amplifier or an intercom. So so I'm putting the human functional design talk or internal mind science talk, everything we discussing into music that you can listen to and vibe to. You know what I'm saying? But it's also no separation music too. You know what I'm saying? Because the name free will in the flesh not just based off human function divine design. Is also it's a description of my connection to the source. You know what I'm saying? Because within the, even though every human has free will, I'm a template to show how to actually use it. Because I'm I literally chose source on my own, no influence. You see, so I'm like a piece of bubble gum on the back of his shoe. So he can't get rid of me. You see, so even if I was something that the source didn't want, I would still be the annoying little person like, hey, Mr. Creator, what you doing? Tapping on his shoulder. You see what I'm saying? Being annoying. You see what I'm saying? So I'm connected no matter what, because I don't let nothing stir me away. You know what I'm saying? I don't let nothing, I don't make mistakes and then LeBron cover myself up like Adam and Eve did. I reverse all of that. So I'm saying I know how to make mistakes, enter curiosity, indulge, and still stay connected to the source, because shame don't make me feel no type of way. So I'm saying that's where Adam and Eve messed up at, according to on that surface level, on that level of the story. They ran. See what I'm saying? I done run. It don't matter
It
what I
don't matter
did.
what I did.
It don't.
You better say that, free. You better say that. When you woke up to yourself, you run from you. And I got that before I ever heard it from pastor or anything. I read, and my question with that was like you just said, why are you running from yourself? Like once you sit down with you and you realize the stuff that you've been trying to cover up, they went and put on some stuff to try to cover up, which is basically behavior, mindset, how you feel about stuff. Be free with that. I did it. I said it. Okay. All right. Gee, sometimes you be a little harsh. Okay. And I'm saying it and saying okay so I don't get stuck. To how your perception of my response to myself is because I have to be, king, girl. I have to be harsh with me because I know I'll get into I like this and I ain't passed the test yet, because we don't have people out here that teach you to nut if you buck and keep that mentality with your behavior. I'm real. We don't have, hey, you did it, you said it, hey, you was happy when you did it. Hello? So be okay with yourself to clean it up. You're going to sweep around my own front door. Hello? Let me sweep how I want to. If I want to sweep harsh, if I want to sweep lightly, if I want to stomp and pout, however I need to do to clean up myself, clean it up. Clean it up. Because it goes to the factor of I can't get to transformation if I don't clean up these areas. Ain't that right, bro?
All right.
All right.
You right. You
You
can't. You
right. You
can't.
can't. You can't.
And for all the
And for
seers
all the
out there,
seers
you
out
can't
there, you
see
can't see
nothing if
nothing
you don't
if you
see
don't see
self.
self.
You can't see a pattern in nobody's life if you can't see the patterns in yours. Being able to see what's in, see within yourself enables you to see what's in others. So if you can't admit the patterns you can see in yourself, you can't see. because you can't see in other people's life and can't see in your own life. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta know how messed up you is to even see something messed up in somebody else.
Ew, ew. Hello, I was questioning my. You know what? I had that thought with myself because I was looking at somebody. Let's say I was sitting on the porch outside in front of the building, and I was looking at somebody, and then myself turned that question to me. Am I messed up like that? It don't matter if you're not messed up to the level and degree that you probably see somebody or whatever, right? You could be that messed up internally. Let's talk about that. That internal dysfunction doesn't have you where you over here with yourself. So now you're in your internal mind. And the science behind that is like magic. You got to know how to get out of your thoughts and what are pure thoughts, conscious awareness, soul thoughts, source thoughts. And it does take a minute, right? Just to get there, because them internal thoughts are the conflict that you raise with yourself or have had with other people. What does that look like to get out of that? And how do we get out of that? What tools do we need? You know,
Nah, when, all right, internal thought process that it's gonna lead into what they call shadow work and stuff like that. But the problem is people can't quote unquote be real with themselves. You know, if you know somebody who ever done something and internally still lie to themselves that they didn't do it, that's internal dysfunction. I mean, you did something, and you're like, it's okay to lie to other people, but if you gonna lie to yourself, then it's an internal dysfunction because you're not in truth even within yourself. You see what I'm saying? When you lie to other people, it's for a personal reason you lying to them. Either you don't want them to know, either the people in your business, or you could just be a compulsive liar. But internally, you're not finna do nothing and then lie internally about it. See what I'm saying? When I lie to somebody internally, I know I lied. But see, your internal world is nothing but the truth. You internally dysfunction if you can't even hold the truth inside. That's where psychos come from. You see, but if they're internally truthful, a psycho can take you out, unalive you. Internally, they know exactly what the hell going on. They know they ain't crazy. Like we label them as psycho, but they ain't crazy. They fully conscious beings that have chosen to unalive people. You see what I'm saying? So a psycho is actually a high IQ because he high function. It's like a psycho is like a evil free will in the flesh because it's like me being conscious enough to take people's lives, and internally I don't lie about it. You seeing somebody that just say, "Yeah, I did it," and they go, you know what I'm saying? Then they externally
I'm with you.
and
I'm with you.
internally, he fully
He's
aligned
fully
with
aligned
himself.
with himself. Because it goes back to when you just admit and allow yourself. This is why I put allow first. Self allowing goes to admitting. So when you allow yourself to see yourself, you're admitting that, whether I did it out loud or internally. As long as you admit to yourself, I
Yeah,
did that. Not, oh, I was wrong or I was right, because that deal with battles. When you actually just admit to yourself, I did do that. I did say that. I did have that behavior. Courage, confidence, character. Now you didn't check it to check each area, just some several areas of yourself. Did I do this internally, and did I do it spitefully, or did I do it to raise somebody's vibration? Now we turn around here and check out the courage with that. Did I go in here and do that for a healthy relationship and a bond, or did I do that to detach some stuff and make this dysfunction? Now it's going to show your character.
Fact.
Fact.
And guess what?
And guess
That
what? That
dysfunction, I'm gonna
dysfunction,
give you an
I'm gonna give
example.
you an example.
Um,
Um,
you got the RIPE victims. Some of those are internal dysfunctional victims because there are choices that they're not accepting within themselves that led to that predicament, and it drives them crazy because they're not admitting it to themselves. See what I'm saying? And then it's not the fact that the person is wrongly convicted; it's just the fact that she's not accepting that she made a personal choice to actually get under the influence to go, and then it happened. It's accountability you must take within yourself. See what I'm saying? Like what happened is bad and it shouldn't have happened, but it's still a part of the situation where you must know that you decided to go. See what I'm saying? You decided to be under the influence. And even if that's the only accountability you got to take, you must take it. You see what I'm saying? Most people not gonna take it. It's all just that's why sometimes the case of a RIP victim is seemingly wrongly convicted in a way because of choices like that where accountability not taken and one person left for the blame, which is
which
mostly
is
the man.
mostly the man. And that's where that responsibility, because accountability and responsibility go together. If we're being responsible, I'm not responding the way that yourself wants to, right? Because now I'm being accountable for my responses. So now
Right.
that goes into the responsibility of the behavior to
Because
what's being said.
because you need to
Because you need to
realize
realize
you
you
NPC movement.
NPC.
If you was consciously aware, you wouldn't have never put yourself in that situation because you already know you go there and get drunk. Things like that could happen. So you go if you do go, you go properly prepared. You don't know things like that or be afraid of things like that and still go and it happens. Like how did you get all the way to this place from the party? It's still choices and decisions that was unconsciously made. That's why even after the man get sentenced, go to jail, and she living a normal life, she still creep, kind of creeped out by men. She still because it's something, because she's not facing the full truth. Even though he doing his time, it's still gonna be you internally dealing with you not accepting that accountability of you knowing that you went to the party and just
And
accept
just
the
accept the
accountability that
accountability that
shit I ain't have to go and it wouldn't happen. It's really easy. Just think. That's all I do is think about it. Ain't nobody judging you
nobody good.
but you.
Free people don't want to think.
Huh?
They want somebody. The people don't want to think. They don't. People don't want to think. You want me to come and do this? I'm just gonna use my perfume bottle. Here, that's what they want. I'm serious. People do not want to think. Thinking requires responsibility, prioritizing, accountability. Thinking requires something that they ain't ready for. Called self-discipline. Seeing that discipline, movement, motion comes purpose. Where you have to prioritize self now. You can't be mentally all over the place. It clearly said, don't forget this is Soulful Sunday, so I got to go to it. Do not be to conform. Do not be conformed to the likeness of this world. be doing what? Renewing my mind. So why every day you still got the same garbage, stinking, thinking, cabbage patch mindset? Why we still having the same teenage? I ain't gonna say little kid, because see, a little kid got more self-discipline than a teenager. The teenager didn't have no self-discipline. Let's go there with that. That's the person that didn't have self-discipline. You wanna know why? Because see, when I was doing my homework last night, Free got me to thinking. And I like going back to this particular subject. See, it was a question I asked him, and it dealt with like, how has social media impacted authentic human expression? Let's go with that. See, it has impacted the child by the time the child gets about like 5th grade, right? Which does this snatch imagination, snatch creativity, because you have to, by 4th, 5th grade, fa la 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 la. You ain't getting a whole bunch of more chances now about your mouth, your attitude, your character. Because see, they wanted to see, can you understand character counts when you was in elementary, right? This is for us who down south. You go to school down south. They got a bunch of things that deal with like character counts, and they show you those. Do you not know character counts are how you are actually supposed to be? Be patient, be kind, be joy, be a good sport, leadership, all of that. They're teaching you already how you're supposed to be. Now, when you get about 4th, 5th grade, let's just say 5th grade, they start snatching this, and this is how you should follow la 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 and act. You get back high school, which is 9th grade. Okay, you have to have certain credits to either walk out that building with a piece of paper. Okay, in order for you to walk across that stage, shout out to all the 2026 high school graduates, college graduates. Always have to give them their credit, because yes, you did something and you succeeded. Well, you get that piece of paper though, right? And you don't know yourself. Now we're going to be sitting right in Free's class of identity. We suffer from a lack of knowledge that deals with who you are. Free, how important is it for us to actually go into sitting with thyself and dismantling the illusion humanity has put up on you? And what do we need to do to continue dismantling from, say, your class, from your services, from a session with you? What would you want us to take away to continue dismantling the illusion? The word illuminate and illusion are closer together. I want to illuminate on purpose. I want to illuminate intentionally, because illuminate goes with the word light. Illuminate goes with the word star. The illuminate goes with the word celestial. I want to be in my existence and not just over here. Hey, I got some dollars. Let's go, Free.
Man, all right. So this is probably gonna be a little difficult to explain. Only, maybe not, but we'll see. Only because I don't want to just say something without actually describing how to do it.
Free, I'm going to give it to you like I did before. This is my show. You better freely speak. We don't hold nothing back. How we each
No,
one
no,
teach.
no, it ain't that.
Oh,
It's just,
now baby, speak it.
It's just how to actually say it in words.
Oh,
That's all.
see what? At least we take our time. I like that, Free. I like that.
Yeah.
I
And
like
then when
that.
I say it, I just wanna say it surface level and explain how to do it. Like if I talk about seeing patterns, I'm gonna tell you how to see with pattern and how to always see it. You know, I ain't gonna just give the knowledge and not know how to look for it or use it in reality. That's where a lot of our leaders are messing up with, because they just talking it, but they're not showing how to execute. So, uh, this dismantling is not. It's thinking about it is what makes it hard because it's something you're trying to gather the brain to communicate for you, but it can't uh, communicate nothing like that because it's too like not out of this world almost. So I'm saying so that's why certain things is hard to even put into words because your brain is putting together something you might call spiritual and putting it into words so you can explain it. So and it's very hard. Have you ever heard of the observer talk? Being an observer. You will have to become more of an observer to tap into this mountain and more. And the more you observe, the more you understand. And the more you analyze what's true, the more you can your sensitivity will go up to what's not true. So in Christianity, when they say the Holy Spirit guides you, when something ain't right or when something ain't going, you get that nudge, and that's how they translate it. But in the same language, it's basically when you sitting in stillness and you pay attention, and I'm gonna explain what you're paying attention to. You have to like. It's so hard to explain it. Give me another question, Kiana.
We ain't doing another
Like,
question. You ain't
on the
no
same thing, but
on the same thing.
yeah, same thing.
Okay, okay.
Another
I
question.
got you. You already know. I'm the same question. We gonna reword the question then. If you could take one illusion, because all of it's an illusion, right?
Right.
But if you could take one illusion away, dismantle it, that would probably help somebody think like the light switch just flicked on, right?
Right.
What illusion would you actually take away, dismantle, so that a person can see themselves? And that's me revising.
Okay. Okay. I got you. I can probably build a couple of them for that. One illusion. I think we all agree on is how people talk about the workforce, right? And everybody talk about stop going to work so they can shut down the system, you know. And that's actually true. But if I was to do it, I would just advise everybody. I would advise America to attempt to leave America and watch everything crumble if they really want to see it. Everybody in America just leave America. Then what would how would America
I'm like,
gonna
let's
thrive?
go, let's go, let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
I'm going to Italy.
How would America thrive if we all pack up and just move across seas somewhere? We're gonna have another problem, probably population issues and all that. But it's gonna have to make America tighten up if they think we're gonna come back. See what I'm saying? So you can make a shift. You can to make a shift. You only need to attempt. It's like a threat. Everybody just pack up and pretend they finna go, and watch how the world shut down. You can
Don't
do
that
it
make
for
you
one
a
night.
little
Everybody go to the damn airport for one night. The whole world gonna shut down. The airport can't even hold everybody.
right?
So
Because
you
the
sitting
airport
like
only holds
nigga. thing is spend a night
spend a night
outside
outside
in a tent
for
for
one
one
night
night and
and
not
not
go to
go to
work
work
in
in
the
the
road
road.
about.
Right. It's so many to dismantle, but because this goes to the question that I was going to. When you're doing this dismantle, you're dismantling fear-based programming. Wouldn't that be correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Think about your
that'll
courage
be
then came in play. We got
that'll
people
be
who probably, I don't know. But because Free said, oh, we gonna go over here and we're gonna do this. Look, don't think about nothing. Just do. When you have people who follow, just do it, beat it, just do it. That's how we're gonna beat the system program mentality. Beat how your fear is right here because they say, oh, if you don't go to work, you're not gonna have a place to stay. This land is my land. This land is your land. I ain't gonna be homeless. No, 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 no. As long as I got land and breath in my lungs, homeless, baby, I'm just here visiting. My language changes. That's where I'm going next. Your language transforms when you realize that you don't have fear. You don't have a spirit of fear. You got power, love, sound mind. Hello. Y'all got to go look that up where that's at. Because you didn't get the spirit of fear for those of y'all who we go to church and stuff. Those of y'all back there listening, okay? I had to go step in grandmama mode real quick. Because this is where I'm at. If you go into church and you read that Bible that says, and probably I think it's 2 Timothy, God did not give you a spirit of what? Fear. So why is it when somebody say, let's go do something that's going to benefit you in a higher consciousness and benefit you spiritually, benefit you so you can see your courage, benefit you so you can see that you got a brain, so a man think it so he is, and then benefit you in who you are. Why we operating in fear the moment that somebody says, let's go do this? Oh, I ain't gonna have a job. So what? You don't have one really in the first place. I don't go have the house. The bills ain't they ain't real no way. If we can all come together like, what was that, Italy? For 29 days, they ain't do nothing. On that 30th day, whatever that's over there, Parliament, the government system over there, what happened? I bet you they woke up. Bet you they woke up. If the world went completely quiet for one day, see, I don't even have to ask the question because he literally spoke on it. What do you think people would discover about themselves? Since we know what would happen, or what would people discover about themselves if we actually did I'm going to call it free day and say yes to you day? Well, we're not going to do nothing. We're going to follow Free's advice and we just going to be quiet. We're going to be still and we're going to chill. What would happen to us individually?
It's
Free like I was not ready for you.
when you ask that, are you speaking for as when you talking about everybody just not work, right? And stuff like that.
Yeah. I call it the quiet day. I was thinking about the silence and stuff like that because I do know and understand what it feels like to actually sit in, as people call, isolation. And I say ICU in my ICU room. And if we actually all went completely quiet for one day, what do you think would happen to people individually in that free day with free will?
Uh, First of all, the positive things that's gonna happen is people are gonna be able to finally sit with themselves. They're gonna be finally able to catch a breather. they gonna finally, it's people that's gonna finally be able to see their family and spend time with their family because they slaves so much working. And it's gonna be a lot of people lives, other lives could be at risk at that, uh, it's a lot of jobs gonna go at risk. Uh, People gonna have to, cities gonna become silent, like unusually silent, like it's like a horror movie silent. Rolling through a town, they got people in it, and you don't hear nothing. Yeah. Uh, Stock market's gonna lose a lot of money overnight. you know, uh, it's more good than bad.
It's a
Uh,
whole lot of good.
yeah,
Yeah,
but like
but like
it is gonna
it
be
is gonna
some
be
deaths
some
though.
deaths, so
The people
the
gonna die
people gonna die.
because
Because
if people are not
people
aware of
not aware of
anybody who on
anybody
life
who on life
who already have
already
dead,
have
so
dead.
if
So
we stop
we
for
stop
one
for
day,
one day,
those people
those
gonna die.
people gonna die.
See what I'm saying?
See
We
what I'm
gonna
saying?
lose
We're
some
gonna
people.
lose some people. Do
So
you think
it's
that it's people here that are here for the drama, like intentionally here? Because you said that, like we'll have some people's lives just, like they not here no more. And when you said it, I could just see them not being here anymore because you're here for drama. And drama don't live with chaos. I'm talking about like in peacefulness like that. Like, bro, we'll kick you off the porch. Like, we over here sitting back chilling. And you come on the porch with all this. But when they realize that they don't have anywhere to go, you know what I'm saying? You don't have nobody to go puff on. You don't have nobody to go carry on with. It's them type of people, those type of people who's about profit, those corporates. Because you said the stock market. The stock market deals with frequency. So if you ain't moving no money, digital or physical, Dow is closing down.
yeah,
Whoo. Yeah,
a lot of
a lot
companies
of
gonna shut
companies gonna
down
shut down. Then that looks
over
like
overnight.
right. And what to me I see is an evolution of natural, authentic people. Like how you're sitting outside right now, right? In the society that we live in, how important is it for our melanin men, any man? I say melanin because that's where I'm gonna go first, but
Nah,
any
you
man.
good,
Nah,
you
you
good.
good, you good. Okay, to get with nature. And nature is therapy. And I say that because we have a lot of men who see some things in the world that we live in, our community. Soft don't mean soft that I'm talking about. Soft means something different. So it's like trying to get a man to understand. I'm trying to get you to your softness of you, but I got to get past this right here. You know how do we work on getting each other to our natural state of nature? That's a program for me
That's
that
a
I
good
know I see in a lot of men.
that's a good
It's a
question
good
because
question because
nature is a good
nature is a good
example of
example.
how to see or be in stillness. Because if nature could retaliate or fight back, humans would not be here. You know, so because nature is obedience to God or the source. Nature is obedient. You think this tree behind me want to be cut down? It's alive and it's living, right? The wind blowing and everything. But if I get my saw and chop it down, I'm pretty sure it ain't gonna like that. But none is gonna happen. But if nature didn't obey the laws of God or source, I'm pretty sure all these little plants around me would attack. You see, nature don't retaliate. Nature don't fight back. Nature know how to stay calm and stay in its place and stay in humility. You know, And this is nature actually obeys the law of Christ. If you when they talk about its nature when it comes to truth, justice, uh, truth. I said truth already, but humility, uh, being stand calm and peace, being in peace, even in the midst of chaos and stuff like that. I watch nature obey those same principles. You see,
So,
so
so
even when I break
even
it
when I
down,
break it down,
I can
I can
understand that the
understand that the
teachers that the
teachers that
man was
the man
talking
was
about
talking about.
is right here in my face. So I know what he talking about. So I can walk with him. You see what I'm saying? Because I understand what he's saying, and I understand. That's how I understand free will and why it's such a gift. Because a real connection to the source is dogs, well, animals, period, and nature. But the gift
The
is the fact
babies,
that
don't
we
forget
get
the
free will.
babies free.
See what I'm saying?
See what I'm
So we
saying?
able
So we
to.
able to.
I can retaliate if I want to. The tree can't do that. See what I'm saying? So the gift is God's creation. Is wanting people like Him. Ye are gods. If he didn't want us to be gods, He made us still just like that. And His first creation was trees. See what I'm saying? Then he had another idea. You know, animals. But the animals came because what if the trees could move? See what I'm saying? But then animals came about. So now it's like they not like me yet, but they a part of me. But I got an idea where I want to make something just like me, yeah, y'all gods. And then a human being was created. See what I'm saying? But we don't sniff around like dogs. See what I'm saying? We don't stand still like trees and the plants. We move around and free will just like the source. Because the source is the only one that was able to do what he wanted to do. That part of the source is what was used to create a human. So now we can do what we want to do. We not like this tree. It's creation just like me. See, but I'm more of a realistic living creation. This tree is just what I used to be thought when he first decided to try to create. But it's what makes humans the greatest creation. Because if anything, he could have just left it plants and animals to roam the planet if he was okay with that. But he wasn't because guess what? The source would still be bored. The trees and animals don't talk back and do what they want to do. They just move on instinct. You know what I'm saying? A dog is connected to the source, but a dog is pure function. A dog don't know it's a dog. It just do what it do. We as humans call it a dog. Strip away the name dog, it's pure function. It's human design. It's to sniff, bark, eat, do what it do. Human design is to say, come here, I'm gonna name you dog. See? And I'm gonna give you a nickname, Jeffrey. Now the dog got meaning to it. As our job on this planet to give meaning to what's present already. You see? If you notice if a dog get hit on the street, you ride right past it. Oh, we go a dead dog. You ride past Jeffrey on the street, you're gonna pull the damn car over and be like, oh my God, Jeffrey, you done got hit. It's a difference because you add meaning to the dog instead of it just being a dog. When you add meaning to something, it means something now. So when I name my dog Nova, if something happened to Nova, I'm gonna be very upset. But if I saw that same dog walking down the street and they got hit, I wouldn't give a damn. The label and the meaning means something. It's creation. It make meaning mean something. The tree don't mean nothing if I never named it a tree. It's just a
It's just
it's a tall
the tall
object. I don't
object.
know what it
Know
is
what it is.
until I
And then with the tree,
huh.
the tree, and then with the tree also has a meaning.
Say it again. You blanked
Hold
out.
on, hold on, hold on. I got you. No, 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 no. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna show you why. I got a plan. Okay. Now she was. Thank you. Okay, so this is. I got this. Okay. You gonna make me cry? Oh my god. I didn't even think about this. Okay, so I like my plants, right? I like plants. I'm working on my, as they say, your green thumb. My friend gave me this in May. This is June. She gave me this when I came back to my apartment. I was helping some family. So she gave me, but it was smaller and a little bit wobbly. Didn't have, I don't have much light. But you see how she's grown. I just took a picture of her, right? She was smaller. She was like down here, no growth or nothing. So I was like, oh, pretty cute. And I set her in the window and I gave her a little water here or there. Like every Friday, Saturday, I know to give her this little water. And I'm seeing her grow, which is, I'm seeing me grow. Okay, I like nature, y'all. I like going out there playing and touching with the trees
Yeah.
and looking at them like at the bottom and all the way up. And wow, I like looking at them like that because if you stand outside and look hard enough or clear enough, you'll see it that many trees and leaves and plants. You don't know all these different names. You don't. You don't, but I'm gonna put that back over there. That's her. So yeah, okay. I don't know what to say, but that's just that. That's me and my baby. My last question for Mr. Free. If you could speak directly to one melanin brother today, just one, it don't matter. If you could just speak to one of your melanin brothers today who is struggling in silence, because we don't struggle in silence. Free has a nice smile. Can you see the
Thank you.
comments? She said, watching something you're nourishing, flourishing its amazing beauty. And that goes to human functional design. I told you I was doing my homework with this. So before Free goes, before he gives his, what would he say to a man struggling in silence? Homework words are human functional design, internal mind science, and non-separation architecture. The last one is for us to ask this question. What is separating me from me? What is separating me from source? Why am I separated? And it ain't somebody outside of you. I promise you that. You are separated because of the program mentality. That's one. But because two, you are attached to people, places, and things that don't serve you. In order for my plant, my mama got the same plant, y'all. I ain't know that either until I went to her house. Hers is all budded up because she got more light. But that alignment, he was saying that also. But you are separated from self. You are separated from like going in the matrix and seeing the lines and then changing the lines to be in areas that you want to actually serve. What do you want to serve of yourself? Have you even ever served you? Will,
Huh?
have you served? Have you ever served yourself? Royalty
Yeah.
type.
When I told you I don't feel like going, I turned down the money even though I needed it. That's serving myself because it didn't make me get up and do something I didn't want to do. A lot
You
of
better.
people are doing things for money or for whatever reason, even though they probably don't feel like doing it. People do it all the time. So when you operate like that, you can't even control yourself because you're doing something you don't want to do, and you know it.
So, to the brother out there that's listening later or right now, whenever you watch this, and the sisters can take this too. Free, what is that one thing that you're telling this one person today that's struggling in silence? What would you tell that person today?
First, I would say free will in the flesh. Hit me up. Hit me in the DM, and then we can really get to that. But as a, on right here, I would say if you're struggling in silence, you can look at it like a good thing because you are already dealing with the unseen and what other people don't see because you're doing it in silence, which means you're doing. It means there's internal work of you talking to yourself and
Mm,
discussing things that you're not discussing with other people. You see, so you kind of already actually doing some of the work yourself by struggling in silence. Because if you're struggling in silence, then it's something internal that you're struggling with, which means you're trying to deal with something. You see, but the struggle part comes from when you're not, you might not be fulfilling the answer. So you still, so you might be still seeking. You know, some people getting frustrated because people don't see what they see, and they the only one going through it. And so sometimes struggling in silence is just because somebody may be experiencing something and they think they crazy. And that's why I'm here to say if you're struggling in silence, then whatever you're going through, you're not crazy. You just need somebody to confirm what you're going through. You know, that when people talk about spiritual attacks, but can't talk to nobody about a spiritual attack, it causes another internal dysfunction in people. Because that's what it is when you can't talk about things. It's hard to talk about yourself with yourself. So people need other people to be able to talk about themselves with. That's where the role or the script of a therapist come in at. You see what I'm saying? People fall into that role to help them be able to get through what they possibly could do with their own internal mind work. You see, but it also shows how it ain't no joke. Because if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. So dealing with yourself ain't easy at all. People go crazy over this stuff. People end up in straitjackets over this stuff. People end up in mental institutes.
I'm trying to like not scream, but I'm what you
Yeah,
said
people.
because
Yeah,
that's right.
people. Yeah,
It
and
was like
a lot of this stuff is because of the awareness. When sometimes when the awareness expands, the awareness gets confused of itself. Sometimes when the mind becomes aware of its own mind, of the mind itself, it get confused and it causes schizophrenia. Schizophrenia, when people hear voices, they're not necessarily hearing voices, they're hearing the thoughts in their mind and then they're taking them as different voices. Because the awareness is confused that it's aware of the voices. So now the awareness is going to know where these voices coming from because it's aware of thoughts itself. If you think, you could be aware of you thinking. So schizophrenia is the awareness inside the person being confused of reality is basically. A person is just like a person observing, being an observer, and then get confused because they can't make sense of it. And then they become aware of all the thoughts in their head, but they take it as different voices. And then it drives them to a diagnosis. Someone then and the doctors don't know what it is because it's psychological.
which I was just going there. I was like, ain't that psychological? Which is
Yeah,
basically the
it's
psychological
psychological and spiritual is
warfare.
it's the same thing in a way. Spiritual psychological is a physical form of something spiritual. You see, so that's why you can't ignore different each layer of reality, because they all play into to one. You see what I'm saying? It's like a biscuit. You know, you got a biscuit, then you could peel the layers on it. You know, the top of the biscuit is the surface layer. That's the 3D world that we live in. You see what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people can't do. They trying to activate healing and they can't, because they not they telling you to get rid of the 3D medicine and just enter stillness, and it don't work like that. You need the 3D medicine to work on the physical part of the problem, and then you need the stillness to work on the psychological aspect of the problem. See what I'm saying? That's why disease is not being cured, because they stop taking the medicine for the physical problem. But then the stillness is, you got to have the combination of two. You need the medicine and the stillness. The stillness is what's going to contradict the paperwork. Your diagnosis is what's going to show on the physical world, on the 3D world. But the results of what you diagnosed with will disappear. So I'm saying, so you can get cured from a disease, but still go to the doctor and it show up on paperwork. You see what I'm saying? But in reality, when you in stillness and you cured from it, you have no symptoms. You have no, you know, your lifestyle just perfect. You know, and I can tell you what'll happen. You know, it'll be where your cells go on a permanent lockdown, and then whatever cells you got that's sick, the stillness is what locks down the sick cells, and then it locks them down, and then generate new cells. You see, but it's a permanent lockdown when you mix the medicine with the internal stillness, because you got to work on the 3D and the spiritual side, because they both work together. What manifests in the spirit becomes physical, you know, and it's vice versa. So problem is we throwing away the medicine, so it's still gonna show in the physical. Then you try to go sit in stillness and go out there and to the water and live that type of lifestyle and fast and think it's gone, but you're not doing what you're supposed to do in the physical world. So it's not aligned. Your
That
intent,
part.
yeah, your
Mhm.
intent, your actions, all that must have the same intent and goal behind what you're doing. That's why belief and the belief matters, because the belief is that's what the supernatural part is, because the belief forms the reality, all because you believe in it. See what I'm saying? So, because you wouldn't be doing it if you didn't believe it. That's what make you do it, because you know it's gonna happen.
I'm not gonna be doing this. I don't believe it. Even if I'm the only one see it.
Yeah, exactly.
If you the only one see that gift, see that talent, see that in you, if you the only one see yourself on top of the mountain, baby, it's only for you. I'm gonna say this. Do the necessary work for the physical. I don't knock therapists. I just don't call them that. I call them the people I'm gonna go to who's gonna guide me back to myself. You giving me
Right.
the help I need. Hello? So if you wanted to take the word therapist and just do something to it, just call it therapy. I'm going
Right.
to therapy. I'm going in here. I'm gonna vent. They not gonna judge me. She or he gonna give me some good advice. And if I choose, because it's a choice, you got to know yourself. If you ain't never did no high spiritual, I say some church work where the pastor said, go sit down and be with yourself, go lay before God. If you ain't done that type of work first, you might need to get the medicine. Tell them to make sure they give you a nice small dosage, not a dosage that's really high for your weight and your age, right? Let them give you a little bit at a time. Make sure that you are controlling the substance and not allowing somebody else to control a substance that goes inside of you. So
Right.
know the substances, right? They are there to help you. It's controlling the twitches that's going on until the light switch flick and you're in alignment. I just got a beautiful, colorful way of explaining stuff that deals with the Wolverine and Storm that attacks at the same time. Imagine that's what's going on inside yourself. And then Wolverine fingers came out and Storm is, you can't control all of that at the same time. That's my way of explaining PTSD. Okay? Because
Right.
that's my look. I know what I have going on, and that's how I had to. Well, that's how I explained it to the lady. Her name was Taylor, and when I told her that, she was like, "Key, you just explained what go on with a whole lot of people in a colorful way. That's the only way I know how to explain it." But giving me what I need from my toolbox. You not know that I silently suffered for years, and I thought that was what's supposed to happen. Bruh, just let me know. I'm gonna reach out to free. I don't care what y'all thinking about it. If you don't want to get your mind healed so that the hole in your soul or your heart and the wounds, look, if you want to do something, you know the arm stuck on Band-Aid and the Band-Aid stuck on me. Take this hand and remove it and say, free, I'm bleeding out, but I don't want to project, and I keep doing the same stupid nonsense. I keep getting in the same messed up situations. I don't like myself right now. I don't even know how to love me. They don't teach us that. They teach us how to cry. That ain't what go on in our world. You know, bro, we ain't supposed to be crying. I'm supposed to suck that up. I'm a man. You know, I can't do that. I gotta suck it up. Key. Look, hit this bleezy key. Cry your little tears. Come on, let's go. And I ain't healed nothing. I thank you for you, Mr. Free Will in the flesh. You know what that is? That right there. I ain't even got to say a word. Free, understand it. For those of y'all who don't understand, I'm going to do it again. And free you are. Those who are free, free indeed. Take the shackles off of your heart and off your mind and off of your feelings and just admit that I am and I do and I kind of and I, yeah. Just say yes to you.
And one more thing, man.
Go
People,
ahead, free. You
it
know
can't it can't go nowhere to be free. If you ain't free within, then it don't matter where you go. So all my people stop running to the woods, man, and thinking you being free. If you free within, it don't matter where you go. But I'm saying if you ain't free within, it still don't matter where you go because it won't matter. You're still gonna be in bondage. You're gonna be sitting in the woods, still going through it mentally. See what I'm saying? So
what?
you gotta make sure you free where you at before you decide to go anywhere. Other than that, you just following other spiritual folks thinking they free. And y'all gonna end up out there in the same spiritual loop playing the role, the script of a spiritual person. You see? So
Mm-hmm.
so when we talked about those scripts, it's a lot of that was being stepped into right now. Because
Mm-hmm.
they sense the essence of that's the tribe or that's them, you feel me? But are you making the conscious choice on your own, or are you seeing them and you feel like that's you and you do it because of their influence? You see,
Mm-hmm.
because if you was truly that, you wouldn't even know they exist because you would be out there in the wilderness on your own, in your own stillness. You see what I'm saying? In your own quietness, and you wouldn't even know it was a person like you exists out there.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be happy to but exactly because you would be stillness out there in the wilderness is doing what being you. So what time do you got to be on the internet um showing you living in the woods?
And then that's when you're in the woods. They say
That's
the
living your
wilderness,
script.
the woods. Yeah, ain't no script. You
That's
just
that's a
gon'
that's
it's what you said. Who are you when all of the lights go out? We talking about on the stage of life. Who are you when those lights go out? And if you can't say yes to you in whatever mindset you in, whatever breath you in at that moment, if you can't see who you are and say yes to you in denial. You're in the illusion. And I don't want nobody to be stuck in denial or an illusion, because this is where intellectual disabilities meet mental health. Real talk. Real talk. Is there any last words you would like to give to the audience, and how the audience can connect with Mr. Free Will in the flesh? Mississippi! Mississippi! You
Man,
got to do it.
if anybody listening want to connect, you can definitely find me on TikTok. Uh, the same name, Free Will in the Flesh. You ain't gonna miss it. And I go live pretty much every day. I might go live. Most likely, I'm gonna go live when I get off here. So honestly, if anybody want to dive right back in, you can catch me then. You know, so that's where I'm gonna be at, and you can get it from Kiana directly. Also,
I'm
if you get
definitely
lost,
gonna
if
hook
you get
y'all up with
for
Free.
people who get lost, trying to find it, if they get lost, find me.
Right. Sometimes some people get a little lost on there. Did you say Free? It's like his name is all together, but it's kind of not. And then if you're looking for a picture, you're not gonna find it. That's the other thing about Free. He his picture isn't himself. Oh, gratitude, brother. Gratitude. Gratitude. All the way down there in Mississippi. I guess my daughter feels our frequency because she steady, Mama, Mama. That's what I'm saying. So shout out to the family all the way down there. Everybody in Mississippi. Hey, M-I, quick letter, I, quick letter, I. Come back, I. Hey. All right, you guys. Say yes to yourself. Sit with yourself in that silence. Stop allowing what society had scripted a word, and you go look it up esoterically, cosmically. I don't care, out of the dictionary, spiritually. Change the word, change the dynamic, change the design. Allow yourself to see the design of you. When you become the architect, everything changes. So, what instrument are you playing within yourself? What time do you have to sit up there and, like you say, are you scrolling your own life and seeing where you at with yourself? Or are you scrolling other things outside of yourself that mean nothing and don't serve who you are? I want to let you know that I love you intentionally. Say yes to each and everything about you, and stop saying yes to outside people. Free, you continue to shine on purpose, bruh.
I
Peace,
appreciate
love, and
you.
soul, guys. Happy Sunday. We did it. Yay. Say yes to you. Deuces.